One of the most common questions I get asked is about the fasting. People find it really distressing. Why don't you rely more on the biochemistry to diagnose rather than the fasting?
The question is, why do you have to fast patients when you suspect an insulinoma? And the point is, it's a very good point, we do rely on the biochemistry, but it has to be during a fast. If I measured, insulin can only be interpreted if I know what the sugar level is. And a lot of you may have very high insulin levels because you might be rather overweight. So for a given level of sugar, your insulin might be very high. Now, there's a very simple endocrine rule. Most endocrinology is actually very simple, which is that if you think you might have too much of a hormone, you turn it off. And if you think you haven't got enough, you try and stimulate it. Now, if you think you've got too much insulin, you switch it off by making the sugar go low. And if you can't do that, then there's a problem. And therefore, just measuring a glucose while you're walking around, even with an insulin, will not give you the diagnosis. Now, I know the fast is both time-consuming and rather irritating. On the other hand, if you truly have an insulinoma, most patients become hypoglycemic within 24 hours. So within a day, you've got a low sugar, you can reverse it immediately, you've got the samples taken, you can put them away in the freezer and then assay them. So for most cases where there really is an insulinoma, A, it's diagnosed very quickly, and B, once they become hypoglycemic, you can immediately give them a meal, and it shouldn't be annoying or irritating. But it is part of the way that you interpret a biochemical test.